It is time, once again, to lock your doors, shut your windows, strap yourself into your favorite comfy chair, and tune out and tune into The Naked Zombie.
G'day boys and girls and listeners of The Naked Zombie. Yes, it is another fantastic night with The Naked Zombie, with The Naked Debate. And joining me tonight, sit in the cardboard box we call studio and armed with our tin cans, tied with a bit of dental floss, I have Wadsy Jr.
Hello, how you going?
He's back for another night. Excellent. We have Liam.
How are you? Bit of a squeeze in the box tonight?
It's a bit of a squeeze. We're all getting nice and comfy.
It smells in here.
And Wadsy, g'day mate, how are you?
Sorry, I was just getting naked.
He took his pants off.
All good, mate. All good.
Anyway, guys, we are doing something special tonight. Look, we dabble in a lot of different areas, and of course this is a lot of pop culture as well within the show. We have what we're going to call movie night tonight. And we're going to talk about all the cool movies we've seen and give our sort of response about it. And this is where we all love different genres of movies. I'm personally a horror sci-fi man. Hayden is a more of a Wiggles movie fan.
Love it. Good movie. Big Red Car, my favourite.
Yeah,
Classic.
Big Red Cat.
Good read.
He had a bit of a thing for Jeff there because he didn't want him to wake up. That's a serial killer.
Terrible.
And of course, Liam is much into the old classics of television and movies, and Wadsy just isn't allowed to watch TV because of the court order from last time.
Yes.
Because he thinks TV is real.
They jump out at me.
Anyway, we're going to
People
talk
die
about...
and they come back the next episode. What is that? What is that?
It's freaky, isn't it, mate?
Yeah, it does. It just sends
Wadsy.
shivers.
Settle, mate. It's all right. Settle, petal. Okay. You okay now?
Yeah.
Good.
All
Okay.
right.
So this is what
Deep
you're going to
breaths.
cop tonight, guys. There's a lot of that. So look forward to it, or you can go and hide in a fetal position somewhere in your bedroom and sob uncontrollably. Now, I actually went out to the movies the other night.
They allowed you out?
They allowed me out of yes, I managed to break off my GPS tracker and get out of the house for a while. And I went with my mate Pete from Rockhampton. You know, I was best man at his wedding. That we went out for tea and decided
You sobered up.
we didn't drink.
You didn't?
No, it was awesome. We actually stayed sober all night, which is
But there's
really
a pub
cool.
right at the movie theatre.
Yeah, I know there's a pub. That's where we had tea.
Yes.
And I-
a couple of Guinnesses and go watch the movies.
No.
Great night.
No, Coke. Just on the Coke cocaine. No, just on the
I was
Coke.
going to say just Coke.
Just
a line of Coke.
A line of Coke. No, anyway, and we went and saw...
Naked Zombie does not support drugs in any way, shape or form.
No, because drugs are bad. Okay.
Okay.
And we went and saw... And I was quite excited about this. And this is the genre of movies we're talking about is... I went and saw Paranormal Activity 4.
Have you seen 1, 2 and 3?
I've seen 1, 2 and 3. I have a copy of number 2, which I didn't
Because it was the
mind.
best one?
Have you ever watched it again after the first time?
No.
That's what I was saying.
No, and that's a sad point. I mean, how many times could you flog a franchise to death when it doesn't turn out like Police Academy?
I think we've seen what Saw's done.
Yeah, so
Rocky. 7 times.
7 times. Yeah, but Rocky 8, unable to breathe without an oxygen mask. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
And still being able to understand.
But
Rocky 8, the pill fight. The Zimmer frame fight.
Zimmer frame races.
Yes, imagine. Now, Rocky 27, Rocky's funeral. He's going to fight death to the finish.
Who stole my false teeth?
But that's what it comes down to. We're flogging the death out of these movies. But I mean, look, I know they make good money, and you do stuff for money, except what we do. We just do it because for some strange reason. But people produce these to earn an income. Like the first Paranormal movie, I think it was about $12,000 Australian. When it was produced, it was $12,000, and they made millions from it.
Oh, ridiculous.
A ridiculous amount of money. But Steven Spielberg jumped in there at one bit and gave it his own little bit, because it actually got shown originally at a film festival, and it really didn't receive any it really didn't receive any sort of... It had a sort of a cult following, but that was it. It wasn't shown in major cinemas or anything like that until Steven Spielberg got his hands, loved it, changed it, tweaked a few things in it, and actually, right at the end where the Sheila jumps up and she's got a demon face and kills her boyfriend and all. I mean, that's Hollywood. That's what they've done. Now, from the success of the first Paranormal movie, they've produced 2, 3, and 4, being 4th the latest. I didn't mind the first one at all because it was pretty cool. I mean, it had some real good.
It was new. It was different.
It was new. I didn't jump up and down with much excitement during it, and people. I mean, they showed the ads where everyone's sort of dropping their popcorn, and they're doing it for this one too. They're sort of, they're dropping stuff, and seriously, it didn't have that effect on me, but I've seen a lot worse. If you know what I mean, in my time watching movies, only because I'm old. Not as old as Wadsy, but I'm old. But it really didn't show me the true aspect, and it was good entertainment. I enjoyed it as far as that goes, and look, it was a good movie. It made a lot of money for the director and the creator, which is great, and all is right with the world. Seriously. They brought out number 2. I actually liked 2 better than I liked the first one. There was more of a storyline, I guess, type thing, where Hunter was taken and stuff. Then they had the girls, and when they were kids and all the rest of it. But they changed it up a notch again now with Paranormal Activity 4. I seriously am regretting wasting the $18.
Yeah, it's like
it cost me
the $50 loan you took out.
I literally took a $50 loan to go out to the movies to see this show, and I was really quite disappointed. Unfortunately, look, I know a lot of people are going to hate me for saying this, and I've already lost people off the fan site because I said it was absolute rubbish, which is fine. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, and I have a big one. And that's what it was. I just thought the best part of the movie was the young fella, not the kid, but the teenage bloke. All he wanted to do was check out the young girl's boobies. I thought that was
this boobies from a dead person or a live person?
No. It just typical teenager boy wanting to cop a
she's
feel.
already dead.
Yeah, but no, they weren't dead. They were all alive, and that was the most humorous part was him. He actually made the movie. I thought he did a brilliant job, but the movie sort of fell apart for me in a lot of ways because it was very boring to start off with.
Boobies didn't do it for you?
You didn't see boobies. You just wanted to see boobies. That's the thing.
It's a big climax to let him down.
Yeah, no, it was a fact. You shouldn't be looking at underage girls' boobies, but it's just a general. It's filmed the same way where it's just stationary cameras.
It's almost like a Blair Witch Project, but not really.
Yeah, it's exactly the same as the previous one with security cameras and all the rest of the type thing.
So it's all implied horror. You don't actually see anything?
Yeah, you do. You actually get to see, you don't see, there's no blood on it.
It's that jump out stuff. Like it's that jumping out of nowhere or sudden sudden.
Yeah, like you see something flash across the screen and you weren't expecting it and stuff like that. But I was a little bit let down, I guess, because I had high hopes that with all the success they had with the first 3, they'd actually produce something that was totally mind-blowingly and mess you up mentally. That's the beauty of the paranormal movies. There isn't a lot of horror. It's like a lot of psychological horror, and I think that plays a worse part on people than anything. But I didn't even get that. But if you haven't seen the movie, when there's one line, look, I was actually given points out loud in the theatre when someone did die. I'd give them a death rating.
I can just imagine you sitting there with your cardboard and a Nico.
10. I mean, I gave Mum there, I think it was a 6.7 on her landing, so to speak. I mean, if you've seen the movie, you'll know what I mean.
I haven't, so I don't.
And unfortunately, you'd never want to come out the movies with me anyway, because I tend to be very opinionated, and unfortunately,
That's not right. They're not doing that right. They should have done that with those,
No, it's
green
not that.
screen.
I just can't help myself. Anyway, the people sitting close around me were sort of giggling themselves silly because I'd make a stupid ass comment. It was just loud enough to be heard but not interrupt the movie.
At least he thought it was funny.
At least they thought it was funny. And because everyone in the theatre was pretty bored, I reckon, because I was speaking to people afterwards, because I just get and chat to anybody, and I'll stand there.
That's your problem.
Yeah, I don't talk to anybody, and that's what's part of my job.
I've heard about you from Strange Danger.
I should have done like the Rocky Horror style, gone up in front of the screen and got all the audience participation.
Okay, Mexican way. There's only 3 of you. Awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, it was only a handful of people in the theatre too, which sort of took me by surprise, especially on a Wednesday night.
So when did it open?
Oh, it only opened like a couple of weeks ago.
It was only last week.
Last week.
Not very long.
So there wasn't very many people in the start.
It's fairly new.
It is fairly, but you expect something like that to have, like,
especially for the hype it's had. I mean, it's had a
it's an amazing amount of hype, and this is the thing. But look, I know the actors. Look, all the actors did a fantastic job.
They're getting paid.
Yeah, they're getting paid. But, I mean, it's even some paid actors don't do a very good job. We will not mention Nicolas Cage.
Oh, don't
But, I mean, that's the thing. Yeah, I mean, I guess, personally, I was expecting a lot more than what I got. I was expecting, well, after 3 movies...
You think they would have got it right?
They would have put it all together and produced something that was friggin'... And I was really excited about going. I was like, come and join me at the picture. I'll be at... I was really excited about going to see this, and I was horribly let down. And that was a shame for me. But, I'm not stopping anyone from seeing it.
Do you want a hug, Brad? Do you want a hug?
Yeah, look, I place a lot of emphasis on this sort of stuff because I don't have a life out of anything else. So, and that's what my impression was. Guys, have you seen it yet?
No.
I haven't seen it yet, but I've been watching the trailers very closely, and apparently there's some sort of Facebook group where I'm supposed to be going to with all of my friends. But I, even from the ads, and I've watched the other ads, and I thought, couldn't even go see that. There's no way, because I'm terrible at scary movies. I'm not a gory kind of fan.
It's not gory. That's the thing. There's no...
Anything horror-based.
So Saw wouldn't do much for you then?
Saw would probably make me throw up.
So you're not into horror porn, because that's basically what it is.
No, not really. I think that's a confusing statement, but yes. No, but I've usually looked at the ads and even been even for other movies, I've just been no, I can't see that. But I looked at the Paranormal 4 Activity ads, and I was actually in a cinema where it came on, so it's on the big screen, kind of all in your face, and I think it was just before they released it on TV. And I was like, oh, that's not that bad. I don't know. Maybe I should go see the other ones. Even they're trying to show the scary parts of people getting scared, and it's just shadows appearing. I was like, that's not really that scary to me. I always expect something to appear out of nowhere because, you always hear the silence or the what was that? And then, next thing you know, boom, there's someone there. So I kind of, look, I think it might be a bit predictable, and I'm kind of someone who studied media a little bit as well, too, so I sort of see...
Oh, you studied movie high school.
So I see a little bit of that sometimes before it even comes, and I guess that kind of ruins everything for you, but yeah, I just feel like it might be a bit predictable now that they've done 3 movies, that there's going to be sort of an element of just sort of trying to find where to put scary parts in rather than developing the story of scary parts.
But you find that with a lot of films, once they get to 2, 3, and 4...
That's it.
It just wanes.
It's dredge in the bottom of the barrel by that stage.
Yeah. I think a film becomes a classic when a line from the film becomes part of the English language.
Yeah. That's a good indicator.
Poltergeist, you got there. He.
I mean, that's and I've actually, this is really cool. I actually got production photos from the Poltergeist.
Yes, you showed me those before. Were they ones we auctioned off?
Yeah, I was going to auction them off. Well, I never got around to them.
Classic.
And I was sort of a bit scared in a way because they're worth...
Full of promise, Brad, aren't you?
Well, I never... Well, I was thinking about auction off, but I've got these... I've got a lot of cool stuff that I really don't want to let go. I mean, no, they're worth a fortune, and if I sold them, I could really probably buy another house. But it's not the point. The point is I get a lot of pleasure out of looking at these things because they're actually production photos from the movie.
Plus, you need it for your superannuation.
Yeah, that's right. When I retire, they'll be worth more then. But this is the thing. I mean, you look at the Poltergeist series.
Yeah.
Oh, it just got better and better. In my viewpoint, it just got better and better because there was a storyline too, and affected the whole family all the way through.
I think, it came from that day and age of movies where I think, writers and producers and directors wanted to, with every subsequent movie, they wanted to better the last one that they'd done as well.
Of
Whereas
course.
now, you've got these big film franchises and, they're just, all they're interested in is just using the same format, over and over and over, and they just
the safe bet, putting the money in there. And I guess back in those days, a lot of it was about the art still rather than just getting that production value again, not just selling the DVD, not selling the video or whatever it was that day. It's not thinking about publishing rights or thinking about selling the gear of it. It's really was about the movie and the movie in the cinema rather than the movie on DVD.
Everyone has sort of a bit of a giggle when they see the ads on TV. Grown men squealing like 3-year-old girls and throwing popcorn.
That wasn't staged. I don't know.
Well, I mean, this is the thing with a lot of.
I like that all the time. I do that all the time.
It's not so much.
Isn't that normal?
Yeah, but you do that when you step out of the shower and you see yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, with a lot of that too, all of that footage is taken. We're getting to a point in sort of movie making now where all those movies are beta tested as well. So they'll make a movie and they show it in a cinema with a select group of select audience to see what reactions what best reactions they can get by doing certain things, and then when the final movie comes out, they'll tweak it, and they'll put the scariest bits in that they got the biggest reactions from their beta testing, and so I mean, even from that point of view, there seems to be not a huge amount of risk or involved. Like they're beta testing these movies 2, 3, 4 times before they actually hit the cinemas, just to try and see what reactions they can get out of test crowds.
I mean, but that's the thing. Anything, they always have a test crowd first when they're showing a movie and stuff. Like, they get people's reaction, then they'll go back and cut it and shut it and change it again and do it again.
Director's cut kind of
I
thing.
mean, because look, I'm not saying at all, because it would be a very difficult task to do, to produce a movie. I've never produced a movie. I'm no expert in it, but I know what I like. I know what I'm going to fork out my money for to go and see. We are the paying public. We make this stuff possible by going to see it, so we do expect a certain amount of entertainment as paying public. If we didn't pay for it, nothing gets done.
Yeah,
that's the thing. They're not just going to hand over money here and make a crappy... Oh, they do make crappy movies, but we're going to fork over you a heap of money, here you go, and we don't expect anything in return. It wouldn't happen that way.
No.
They rely on folks, us fans of movies in different genres.
The big movie stars get paid by the amount of dollars that they think the movie's going to make.
Yeah.
So if they think it's going to make more money, their fees go up.
Oh, damn straight. I mean, it's just...
Even though they're doing the same job and the same amount of work for one movie, they're doing the same amount of work for another movie. If that one's going to make more money, they'll get more money from that one than they will the other one.
Nicolas Cage, why? Sorry, I just had to throw that.
Nicolas Cage in Witch Mountain.
I prefer The Rock in that.
So you're telling me that I need to go to Witch Mountain?
Which mountain do you want me to go to? I can't tell.
Which mountain are you talking about? Who's on first?
Is it the one on the left or is it the one on the right? But this is where we come to the whole thing of the horror genre, where it's gone nowadays. I remember the Evil Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn of the Dead is one of those movies that kind of came out of nowhere, but was so good.
Oh, like Shaun of the Dead. Even I enjoyed that with the boys who did that. To me, I love a good horror comedy, like Shaun of the Dead. You can't go past it. It's an absolutely brilliant movie, and these the boys have like Hot Fuzz and all the rest of it, and I just
Matthew. I don't remember names. I had it for a second.
Anyway, then they did Paul, about the alien and stuff.
Yeah. Everyone's got to have a dive movie, though.
No, that was awesome, man.
Really? You liked Paul?
I loved Paul.
Paul was brilliant.
Maybe I didn't get it
Some
enough.
of the other movies that sort of were in, I guess, between Hot Fuzz and Paul were
There was like Run Fat Boy Run.
Yeah,
that was a bit of
bit
disappointment.
questionable.
But that's fine. But they've got to dabble in different things and get their ideas. But 90% of the time, they make a good movie. Paranormal Activity 4, to me, it wasn't it was an okay movie. Would have been a Sunday special when you're really bored and it was a rainy day, you got nothing else better to do. Yeah, I would go and pay to see it. Would I wait for it to come out on DVD after I've seen it? No. Would I rent it out on the weekend when it's a rainy day and I'm bored shitless? Maybe. If you know what I mean, I'd have to be you've got to be in the mood to watch a movie like that. And I guess all the hype didn't do it justice in that sense. And you can send all hate mail to me, because if you thought it was wonderful, tell me you think it was wonderful.
What about
what?
Men in Black brought aliens to the real fore.
Oh, hell yeah. Like the Men in Black.
Men in Black series, we've got 3 now, 3 in 3D.
3 now, but apparently that was called the third sequel. It didn't have to happen.
The third sequence didn't have to happen.
Well, yeah, no, it's not sequel, but sequence. But yeah, the third movie it shouldn't have happened or didn't have to happen.
Okay.
Someone reported.
But yeah, I mean, everyone started talking about aliens as soon as Men in Black came out.
Well, it did bring it to the non-sci-fi kind of genre. Like, it brought it out of that.
That was because of the actors in it.
Yeah.
Oh, Tommy Lee,
As opposed
and
to nerds.
Will Smith.
Yeah.
And people were talking about Roswell.
Well-
And that's all it was in the past, Roswell, and people thinking they're weird looking at UFOs out in the bush.
Out in Nevada. Yeah.
In the middle of Australia.
I put it up before on the Naked Zombie fan site and actually put down what was the worst horror movie you have ever seen and why. We'll read it out. And we're going to read your comments out. So if you listen to the show, your comments are going to be read out on the zombie.
Oh my God, it's you!
It's you. And the first one comes from a good friend of ours, from Ghost of Oz. Big plug, Ghost of Oz, you're awesome. Is from Danny. And Danny writes, The Human Centipede. Terrible acting, terrible concept, terrible directing.
That was
and
just
it
messed
was
up.
just gross. And what's worse, I actually bit the
You won
bullet
an
and
Oscar?
saw the Human Centipede 2.
You went the whole.
Oh,
I went
you went the whole
man,
Centipede.
and I thought the first one was just gross and disturbing and just wrong.
If you've seen both of them, though, doesn't it make it a millipede?
Well, basically, that's what this guy tries to do. You know how you had 3 people in the first one saying they had the
You
old.
got it.
Actually, I've
Do you know what it is?
The Human Centipede.
Oh.
Mate, you haven't lived 2 seconds.
Okay. Should we explain what it is just in case someone hasn't seen it?
That's a Google-worthy moment.
That's a
Yeah,
Google. It's
you'd be a shock surprise.
It's like I got shown 2 girls 1 cup the other day, and I know through.
Oh, who showed you that?
How could you bring that up?
Oh no, seriously, dude. My mate thought it was absolutely hilarious because of the reaction I got. I couldn't watch it.
That's like one of those trolling videos. You don't actually show it seriously.
No, it was. No, it was horrible.
The
dude.
scary thing is we
What?
saw that in grade 10.
I have no shame. What could I say? I didn't watch it. I just caught.
You didn't watch it?
No.
But you just said you watched it.
No, this is what happened. He said, "Check this out," and he put it up. And I looked at it and went, and I literally tried to throw up in my lap because.
So you only watched the first couple of seconds
I
of it?
like the first half a second thing, and
Oh, you've seen nothing.
Yeah,
You've
it gets
seen
nothing
No,
gets
I couldn't watch.
worse.
Anyway, can we we'll move on from
Yeah.
that?
Let's take it out of the gutter and back into the
well,
street.
to more classy things like the human centipede.
Yeah.
So basically, look, I'll give you a premonition. This mad scientist basically has 3 people, and he has the old ass to mouth thing happening because they're trying to have like a total circulation where they eat and
Sewn together.
sewn together.
So the
literally-
person's mouth is sewn onto the other person's bum.
bum,
And
it's
only
like-
the first person can eat.
So you eat
Yeah.
the first one, and that
And then that goes through, and then they eat it, and then through a
that's
third
only with
person.
3 people,
Yeah.
right? The second one, he sews 12 of them together.
Oh.
They all die in the end, don't they?
Well, I'm not
The
gonna
first
spoil
one
it
he
for
all
people
dies.
who want to
or
see
something,
it,
I
but
think. I've never seen it.
but anyway, all I can say is that
I've just Wikipedia.
in the second
Don't.
movie, the guy. In the second movie, the first movie is a movie, and that's what he's going off, and the science is plausible or something like that. So this warped mental case decides to start doing things to people and stitching them together, and actually, yeah, it's just pretty horrific. And I sort of went during it. So the Human Centipede 1 and 2. If you're into horror porn, and that's what it is, it's just gross. Like it's just a lot of blood and people being mutilated and all. If you're into that sort of thing, you probably enjoy it. But no, I didn't enjoy it. But part of what I do doing the show is I have to make myself watch stuff so I can go, I'll never want to see that again.
Yeah. Don't watch this.
Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me, technology. I don't want to see that. Also, so yeah, Danny reckons that one. Now, Kim Riddle, the original Evil Dead, I cracked up when the demon stuck a pencil into the bloke's ankle. Yes, I agree.
Yep.
Evil Dead, the pencil incident was cool. And isn't that the one? Yes, Evil Dead. Gotta love the Evil Dead.
Well, that was the most bizarre thing about the Evil Dead franchise was the original was done to be it was supposed to be a legitimate scary horror movie.
Yeah.
And it was so unbelievably crap that by the time they decided to do a second one, they literally just said, let's just do a horror comedy because no one took the first one seriously.
No.
And the second one, because they weren't being serious, it was
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
And that's I mean, this is where it really stems from. All these fantastic. I mean, I love the Evil Dead series. I thought they were great. I love the fact you also got basically you had Ash. What was it? Yeah, the Evil Dead. Yeah. Ash. When he cuts his hand off and puts a chainsaw on.
Boomstick.
A boomstick. You got a face full of boomstick. I actually love that. I mean, I love the third one. And it's just, it's weird and warped, but it doesn't mess you up too much.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing. You can switch off from it. Movies like The Human Centipede, you can just imagine some sicko out there trying that. I'm sorry to say. You can just picture
The scary thing is someone had to get the idea from somewhere.
Yeah, someone had to get the idea from somewhere, so he's probably sitting there stitching these teddy bears together going, yeah, make a human teddy bear, Pete. Type thing.
You can have infinite teddy bear.
Infinite teddy bear. But, Human Centipede, it just grossed the crap out of me. Evil Dead loved it. I've got another one from Daniel Morton here at The Grudge. Great movie.
Oh, I've heard so many good things.
You got 2 versions. You got the
okay.
American version and you got the Japanese version.
original.
The Japanese version, I think I've heard more
The
about.
Japanese one will mess you up psychologically and you will not be able to sleep.
Yep.
Seriously,
Don't play
that
much
one.
either.
The American version went,
Horror.
yeah, scary. Yeah, I can deal with it.
Aliens,
No.
ghosts.
No, Grudge.
Yeah, Ghost.
Ghost.
Ghosts.
Ghost Boys, Wells, all that type of thing.
Yep.
That was The Ring. That was not The Ring with a girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
that was
like
cool.
all same basic premise.
Like I said, Daniel writes The Grudge. No idea what the movie was about. All I know is I laughed the entire movie because of how bad it was. Ha ha. That would have been the American one.
Yeah, I would say the
yeah,
American
yeah.
one,
Like
I think it
the,
was The Grudge, the Sarah Michelle Gellar
yeah.
one.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And it was
Something about a hand coming out the back of her head in the shower.
yeah, like just weird. She, Goes, she
Yeah.
cops a bit of a feel. She's pretty hot. How it is. How you doing?
Yeah.
Buy you a drink afterwards, so to speak.
That's it.
That's what. But the Japanese version and the Japanese version of The Ring, no, different kettle of fish. The Japanese produce horrors that will mess you up mentally. If you're not,
They're very psychologically
logical
based.
Yeah.
space. Yeah, there's not much. How do I put this? It's not like a splat fest. It just the concept of what could be. The Japanese just are culturally brilliant when it comes to this sort of movie making. They really are. It's the same as the hentai and the anime and all the rest. The amount of work and detail they put into stuff like that. They have a lot of detail where you probably don't recognise it the first time, but I've seen it like 3 or 4 times now, the Japanese version, and you always pick up something else.
Yeah, but I mean,
Sorry,
that's,
I'm talking about. Yeah.
That's all right, mate.
they come from a culture too that's it's very complex and detailed as to their superstitions and beliefs.
course.
And,
That's it.
so I mean, I think if anything, it makes them absolutely brilliant filmmakers when it comes to horror movies because they constantly they have that kind of thing happening in everyday life.
Yeah.
That's a part of their lives. So
Oh, look, mate, we are just getting hammered with. I only put it up a couple of minutes. We got 10 comments already.
That's the most Brad's ever seen on his Facebook page.
What about you bagging paranormal activity?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. I'll bag with it. No, panel two. Okay. Deanna Adams writes, Gigi.
Gigi.
Kitty. G-I-G-I. What's it?
Gigi.
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 Jiggy.
Gigi.
Jiggy. Sorry, I have to
Jiggy.
get my pronunciation.
Hang on.
Okay, so Jizzy, that was a horror movie, wasn't it? I was horrified. It's not a, it's
No, we're saying horror, not horrible.
horrible. Well, horrible doesn't matter. It's all the same thing. So thank you for that, Deanna. Christine Yardley Ryan Daly writes, and probably The Exorcist. First watched it and scared the crap out of me. Now I watch it and it's just lame as even laughable. I agree. A lot of the stuff that I saw as a kid
Yes.
scared the shit out of me. Won't lie. Absolutely scared the crap out of me. It wasn't until it's like the Goodies. You watch them as a kid and they were the funniest thing. To watch them now and it goes, I actually laughed at that.
Yeah.
But they're still funny.
They're still funny, but there's a lot of double innuendos in the Goodies
Oh,
that no
you
one
don't understand it now.
as a
Yeah.
kid you didn't, but as an adult you go,
Haha. Words.
you rude bastards.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But
no.
that's the same. I mean, I've found Mad Max, the original
Yeah.
Mad Max. I watched that and it was a bit. It was out there for that time.
Of course it was. It was the
when
70s.
Yeah. Now I watch it now. I'm so bored.
That's what you showed me. Like he talked about it so much. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
And
I've seen scarier things in the toilet.
I mean, only because Daddy wanted a nap.
Yeah, that's it. You put this on. You just sit there. And,
Okay. But I mean, I have to agree with that. It's The Exorcist. I have The Exorcist. I still watch it. I still get a giggle out of the crab walk, the backwards crab walk.
Yeah.
crab
backwards
walk.
down the stairs.
Bit of trivia for you on that. When the bed's jumping up and down, and she's screaming and carrying on, and
vomits
like,
coming out of her mouth. And,
basically the bed's up and
the
down.
priest's there saying, "Don't do that. Don't do that."
Yeah, and Reagan, the girl was playing Reagan, jumping, They were her actual screams because the bed was that violent because it was on.
I remember hearing an interview that apparently she ended up almost breaking her back because she was twisted around so
so
badly.
much she got. Yeah, she was pretty badly hurt during the making of that. So that was the thing. And like the head spinning around, and that was one of the first animatronic heads. Like animatronic.
That really.
That
hurt
wasn't
when
really
they
her head,
twisted
was
her
it?
No, sorry.
Come on, love. You got to commit to this act. Like, come
No,
on.
look, I have to agree. I enjoyed the movie. I still think it's one of the classics, if you know what I mean. Unless they did Repossessed, which was Leslie Nielsen and that was just
You can't take anything that Liz Nielsen done seriously.
no, you can't.
No.
But it wasn't meant to be serious. It
I know
was,
they're great films, but
That was psychological horror.
Yeah.
oh god, all I can say is Nicolas Cage. Okay, what we got to say? My god, more have come through. All right, Brittany Stewart writes it, Death Tunnel. The concept of the movie seemed interesting, but it had the worst actors. Pretty sure half of them were porn actresses, haha. It's just so bad, it's hilarious. Look, yes, I agree. That's the Booth Brothers. I've had Booth Brothers, we know the Booth Brothers on the show.
Yep.
From the Death Tunnel, they started producing Waverley, you know, like...
Yeah.
And
So the big tunnel underneath
yeah,
Waverley,
the
Waverley
Death
Hill
Tunnel.
Sanatorium.
And basically what they did was, that was probably one of their first movies. And like I said, it's not easy to do a movie. I admit, I enjoyed it to a degree, only because there was a booby action in there.
That's why she said the
but
porn stars.
everything in the movie was based on what happened at the Waverley Hill Sanitarium.
Yeah.
Like
Well-
the bleeding room where they used to hang body ups and drain the blood out of them because of the diseases and everything like that. The two sisters committed suicide there, but all to do with these kids in there, and they were experiencing the same thing. So yeah, I could probably agree with that. Polly Still, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Seriously, Ben, I love Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It would have to be the first / I Don't Have a Life movie I ever saw. You've never seen Attack of the Killer. I've got the
not.
blank. You haven't even heard of Attack of the
gonna
Killer
say,
No,
Tomatoes.
I was like, oh yeah, tomatoes.
what about the Day of the Triffids?
Oh, I love the Day of the Triffids.
Day of the Triffids.
They did a couple of remakes of that, actually. I think it was back in the
Yeah,
60s they
it's
did the original one.
Older than that, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe
it was colour. It was Technicolor back then. It
Was-
was Day of the Triffids, absolutely brilliant
Adapted
because
from a book.
yeah,
book,
well, that
wasn't
is adapted from a book, and
Yeah.
that's you don't know. I'm getting blank expressions from young Wadsy.
I'm just going on Facebook now.
Yeah, no, I mean.
Day of the Triffids was a great movie.
It was a scary ass. I mean,
Yeah.
Triffids were these big man-eating plants. What they do, they'd sting you in the face with their stalk thingies, and it'd sort of paralyse you, and they creep over the top of you and start devouring
Yeah,
you. So
since you're blind.
you're blind. You can't see because there was this meteor
Yeah.
shower, and people looking at meteor shower, and they all got blind. And there's one guy in the hospital, and
He had patches over his
patches
eyes.
over his
or a bandage on his
eyes,
head.
bandages,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Day of the Triffids. But Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, I loved Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. It is, especially the guy in the wetsuit walking around with the flippers, and it was so badly done when people were being chased by killer tomatoes. You remember the lady in the shopping trolley? She's running away from
I
this
haven't seen
big
Attack of the
tomato.
Killer Tomatoes.
You haven't seen it.
I know what you're talking about, but I haven't seen the film.
There's this one scene in there I'll never forget. She was running away from this tomato, and this tomato was on a trolley with wheels and a bit of string tied to it, but you could see the trolley and see the string. That's how
Oh, really?
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
there's been other attacks too. There's been Attack of the Killer Swarm, Attack of the Killer App, and Attack of the Killer Condom.
Wow.
I've seen Attack of the Killer Condom.
Is it just
dude.
like
It's
Really?
a French movie?
It's an actual film.
Does it jump over people's heads?
Seriously, it is a French movie. Yes, I did see Attack of the. I'll admit to that in a sad way. Attack of
Is it
the,
what you were really looking for?
Yeah, that's what it was.
Google search.
Attack
Tell.
Attack of the Killer
You can go to
Condom.
YouTube and look at it.
Yeah, seriously, dude. It's a French movie. It's all in French. And what happens is when they put the condom on, it's alive and it bites it off and then it takes off with it.
Oh no!
Right.
So all these
Only
guys-
the French.
What happened to my Willie?
Oh no.
Now we know
My
what's in
Vina is gone.
My Willie, she just fell off. I don't know. You know?
Now we know
This
what's in
never
the
usually
bucket.
happens.
That's and I've seen it. Yeah, Attack of the Killer Condom. It was this genetically mutated condoms with these really sharp, horrible teeth. And
What were they
Made by
mutating
the
them to
same guy
do?
that made
they're like
the
an
caterpillar?
experiment gone wrong, if you know what I mean. It's like this genetic experiment, and it actually got one, but when it bites it off, and so it's full, it takes off. It sort of uses that as the main source of transport.
Right.
Does it come in large and extra large?
Did you know, Wadsy? Did you know that actually on a condom, if you roll it all the way down, it's actually got the logo of the company who made it?
Really?
Yes,
What?
I did know that.
Yeah, did you know that? You didn't
No,
know
I
that?
didn't. There
Oh,
you go.
yes.
Well, obviously you don't
get
roll
the ones
yours all the way
just
down.
too big. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. You don't get that, do you?
I did get the joke now.
Took you way enough.
Oh, you're so mean.
They're picking on me, Daddy. Make them stop.
I need an adult.
Okay, we had
Don't
that.
look at me.
Deanna writes in again. Can I just mention that with Giggy, Facebook page that is currently beating your page in likes with 8,150. That is also very scary. You heard it first on the zombie. Gigi is kicking Naked Zombie's ass by about 70 likes.
Well, there's the incentive. You have to
Yeah. Well, actually,
start sharing Naked Zombies immediately.
Now I'm just going.
Do the world a favour.
Now I'm just going to go and do something horrible to myself in the bathroom. I mean, that's just terrible. So I'm going to hit likes on all these because everyone's written in as just offend. Oh, there's more. One hidden. One's hidden? Okay, I've got a hidden one here from Christopher Reed. The second Evil Dead, it's so completely shit that it holds its own comedy. Yes, it was. So this is good. This is what people have written in. Death Tunnel, yes, we've mentioned that. We've mentioned Killer Tomatoes. Gigi again, who's kicking my ass in the stats for Naked Zombie. Andrew Pendergeist, Blair Witch Project. I went to the movies thinking it was real footage and it scared the pants off me for that reason. Very valid point. A lot of these ones do come out as found footage, and this is what it's called, found footage.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of it's like you're going into what's that one? The monster that
it's like the
Cloverfield?
Yeah.
I was going to say that, actually, just about to mention that. That actually was,
Cloverfield made me sick.
it was
But
actually really good though.
It was all shot supposedly with a little hand.
Shakiness was pretty intense.
It's what I found trouble with is that I went and saw it at the movies. Like, if I think it's a good movie, I'll go and pay the money and see it.
same,
because
yeah.
that's
But
what
you
I do.
don't know that until you go see it, though, because
The movie was
in the
good.
shorts, they'll
Yeah.
show you the best bits.
Yeah, I know,
sometimes.
no, the movie
and
was
you
good.
think, oh, that's so good, there
Yeah.
must be other best bits, but no,
I
they'll show you
enjoyed
the
it.
best bits on the ads.
I really enjoyed it. The only
And you're sitting
problem...
there for 2 hours watching boring stuff.
No, you're not clean the wax out of your ears. I enjoyed it. Clean them.
No, I'm comparing
Yeah, I
to
know what
other
you're saying,
films.
but I enjoyed it because...
Yes.
But the only thing that got me going was the fact how the shakiness.
Good old motion sickness.
Motion
Yeah.
sickness kicked in. I'm 6'2", weigh 100 kilos. And I'm just going, I don't feel well.
One of the comments
camera's just bouncing around.
they
It was,
made is that they did a lot of spinning from like looking at the center of the city to back to the people, like when they were like because the main guy has the camera and he's like, oh my god, filming this as they're all running around. One thing they forgot to do is like, you know how like when you spin around in a circle lots of times, the rumor is if you go back the opposite direction you feel undizzy. They kind of forgot to do that, so they look to the city and then they come back this way and then they go back around again. You're kind of like whoa, like getting the dizziness going on. But the only like the scene, I love the scene from there where they're finally getting up. I don't even know who the actor is, but she's quite popular. Coming up through the mall from the train station, and she's just been bitten by one of the little mouth thingies that they've just fought in the train station, and she just explodes. That was like the thing you're not really expecting. That was probably the best part, like kind of out of nowhere. It just sort of the end kind of ruins it because you I don't know, it just kind of ends. Like you can't, like the last bit is just blurry footage and the camera getting tossed around, which kind of frustrated me a little bit. But all in all, it was a pretty good movie, and that's probably because I'm obviously too young to have seen the Blair Witch Project in the cinemas. To me, that was really, really good because I hadn't seen that before. But
Although that was the same problem that they had when Saving Private Ryan came out as well, and I mean that big opening sequence.
Yep.
And I think having arms and legs torn off didn't help a great much. But
Blood
they
spattered
had-
on the camera,
you
or
know,
fake blood.
Yeah, when it actually premiered, the number of people that had running out of the cinema being really sick, just basically just because they were getting motion sickness from the camera jerking around everywhere.
yeah.
I get motion sickness, and I didn't feel that at all in that movie. And I've seen it twice at pictures and obviously on TV.
Well, I watched
I didn't
it
think
again.
it was that jerky at all.
Well, I found the quick motion, because, with a lot of movies, there's a lot of smooth panning and stuff like this, but it was like a home movie. Literally, it was over here, then over here, and I'm going, oh, shit, oh, crap, oh, where's my bucket? But that's the
not at
thing,
all.
I did get a little bit, I was sort of like, a lot of people don't, some people do. It's just, typical me, I was sitting right up front going, oh yeah, I'll get the best view here. And it really didn't do it justice. But no, I really enjoyed Cloverfield on that side of thing because, it was a good horror movie because you got to see people explode.
And I think the fact that they did, they effectively killed off the characters.
They did. Look,
They
the
didn't
actors-
do the stupid black guy dies first. And
No,
then
that's the thing. Like they did in the original. In the original, was it Dawn of the Dead?
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, the black guy in that, you expect him to live, and he was the smart, courageous one.
Yeah.
And it's the arsehole that lives. You know what I mean? He got it. That's what's the genre of movies, I mean. And it's just the way... And that did cause a lot of controversy, and we call them African Americans
Sorry.
nowadays. Thank you. Just thought I'd share that with you. But that's just the way it was back then.
Yeah.
But and this is where it gets all changed. We've taken the whole structure of movies from what they were to me were classic horrors, like Fright Night, the original Fright Night. Now they did another Fright Night, and I went, it just is Hollywood running out of ideas?
Oh, I think it's becoming quite apparent that's sort of happening now.
Although that's it's the way that it's gone. You've gone from the really good Hitchcocky and kind of
Yeah.
psychological.
Oh, Birds? Yes.
Yeah, where you go from
Such a
somewhere
movie.
like Psycho, where you don't actually see anyone get killed the entire time, but it
It's all
intimates
implied.
towards
Yeah.
something,
The whole
getting
suspense
killed,
thing, yeah.
Yeah, and then you sort of flip to like the whole what is it, Final Destination franchise of movies where. How many of them are there now?
5?
Up to about
6 or
5.
7,
and you end
yeah.
up doing a 3. If you didn't get off watching a whole heap of nondescript kids die in 4 other movies, like we'll make it
Well,
3D now as well.
Well, it's like It.
It.
I mean, the clown. It's
Stephen King.
Stephen King.
Oh, yes,
It.
yep.
Where the first scene is that that little boy's playing with the boat in the drain, and the clown's sitting there saying, "Come
Yeah,
on,
like
come
the little
over,
face.
further," and he comes out and then rips the kid's arms off, and the kid dies. That was like the most horriblest thing I've ever seen. It was like, oh my god.
The first
Yeah.
thing with a kid, that's pretty intense.
It
like-
is
Yeah.
intense. It was very intense, and it left me going, "Oh crap! I don't know if I want to see this." But this
Plus-
is Stephen King. Well, it's Pet Cemetery. There's Christine, the car that just goes around and runs people over.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the car takes over possession of the bloke who restores her.
Yeah.
And it went from a real geeky, nerdy bloke to a sadist. You know what I mean? And just gets off on it. Yeah, and it's just weird.
But as I said, the way you write a film is how the lines in the film become part of natural language,
Yeah.
except for War of the Worlds.
That was
The
an
ultimate-
excellent movie.
The ultimate horror movie that had nothing because it was a radio show.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
it
right.
Freaked out the whole of New York.
People committed
Yeah.
suicide because
Yeah.
they thought it was legitimate.
Yeah, and there was emergency calls being made, everything. And who did that one?
Orson Welles was.
That's right,
wrote it.
exactly right.
Yeah.
Orson Welles wrote.
Yeah,
I don't know. So he didn't write. Did he write it?
I think he wrote it.
Yeah, he wrote it. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did. He wrote it
He wrote
and
and
he
directed it,
announced
or
it because
produced it. Yeah.
yeah, he did it as a radio show. That's right.
Yeah.
And back in those days, people honestly thought because we didn't have the TV and
Yeah.
all the rest of it, all the radio was like that's a powerful thing, isn't
But
it?
this is people in the
what
city.
happens when you don't have Google?
Yeah.
Oh, it must have sucked back then, eh?
Yeah.
I've got to Google this.
Not even a calculator.
Hey, guess
What does MSN News say? Refresh.
Anyway, guys.
Where's the any key?
Anyway, we're going for a music break right now because we're going to play our favourite band of all time. The band that we think are just absolute rock stars in their own right. Please welcome the next song.
Who are live in the studio.
Oh, no, well, actually, they're
They're in their own cardboard box.
Yeah, their own. But just some great news. The Zombie Apocalypse Theory are going to come in the studio.
Are they?
Oh, I'm going to have them in the studio next month or so. They're going to come in and we're going to organise something to have them on the show and have a bit of a chat and we'll see if we can play a bit of music for us, a bit of acoustic stuff, whatever. I don't think we've fit a full 4-piece full of band in here, but we'll work something out.
Your wife might get a bit upset if you did that.
So, off their album, The Pandemic Begins, please enjoy and listen to Void.
And I'm pushing deeper, repelling myself on the side of my own reflection. This is push it right through me. 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 I wear this failure in my chest and weep from the wound where my heart was. Push it right through me. I wear this failure in my chest and weep from the wound where my heart was.
And we are back with the Naked Zombie, and tonight is, of course, movie night on the Zombie, and just a bit of a plug there for our good friends at Zombie Apocalypse Theory with Void. Absolute brilliant. Don't forget, you can find the details on the website. You can go to iTunes Store and buy their music, because seriously, folks, it rocks. It really is hardcore.
And a lot of effort there too.
Oh.
Self-produced for them as well.
Self-produced, and yeah, look, brilliant. Check them out, see them, and also just quickly, I better do this before I do anything else. Please check out our supporters. Go to supporters page. Check out Brisbane booths, photo booths. You know, we got our picture taken. Looks, here's our picture of us.
It's awesome.
It's quite nice.
It is
It's
nice.
actually good.
It looks like it just looks like we're a little bit too friendly there, Liam. What's your wife say about that?
Oh, I've got mine in pride of place up. living room.
Why
Just
is
keeping it for
this?
later.
If you put that on your passport, there's no way you're getting back into the country.
Yeah. That's it.
Was that a bad thing? No. Anyway, also don't forget Geek Speak. Their stuff is now on the Naked Zombie website. They've got their own page under videos. And I am still editing the video from the Zombie Walk because I've been so busy with Monday night doing the show, Tuesday night doing the show, Wednesday night going out to the movies, to checking out a movie for the show,
Which you hated.
Thursday night show. So yes, I'm shattered, and I'm gonna. And then this weekend, what are we doing?
This weekend, going out to the first of our investigations that we'll
Yeah.
be broadcasting. So big weekend this
Big
weekend.
we are bringing out all the big guns here. We're actually going to video film it. We're going to film it, and we're going to do it up as a half hour or something. Now, it isn't. Don't get me wrong, folks. It's not going to be a paranormal show. It's not going to be about ghost hunting and all the rest of it. It's more to do with the locations we go to, the people we meet, speaking to the owners and their stories. And we'll show you what we show you, and we will hear some of what they've gone through. We're not trying to be, not doing it as a Ghost Adventures.
it's not Ghost Adventures.
No, it's not that. It's just us checking out these cool places we get invited to as part of the radio show, and put up a video for you guys to see what we get up to there. That's all it is. So it's going to be a lot of fun for us anyway. Also, speaking of producing awesome stuff here in Australia, I must give a huge shout out to Attila and Don Mears for the hard work and effort they have put in helping Australian paranormal side of things and producing documentaries and everything. I mean, I know Attila's doing Darkness Falls in India. Please, only a couple of days left. Guys, give them the support they need. This is going to be huge. They work so hard. Guys from Whisper are doing a fantastic job. They are really stepping up to the mark on this. I do promote their stuff because what they're doing is truly unique and different. Also, I've got to give a shout out to Don because the stuff that he put together for the Monte Cristo investigation, the live view stream,
How good was it?
what a feat. And people don't realise how hard it was to put that together.
Especially when you're having a big OV band and all the production behind it, you're doing it yourself. It's a huge effort.
Look, to me, those two guys are absolute rock stars when it comes to bringing true stuff to the paranormal field, bringing love to what they do. I cannot praise these two enough because how hard and how honest they are and how tough it is. They really do a thing. So just a big shout out to those two guys. I know they listen to the show. We absolutely adore them. We think they're great guys and all the best for future fellas. And if anything comes up, please let me know. And I've got to get those two on the show. Look, I've been absolutely terrible because I've been so busy. So Don and Attila, look, guys, I will get you on the show to have a chat about the stuff you're doing, what's coming up next. I think it'll be absolutely fantastic to hear from you.
And the show they did.
And the show they did, and the show they've done. Well, how many shows has Attila done now?
Attila's done, half a dozen shows now, and all along great lines as well. They produced some really fantastic stuff that's been broadcast on television. in
Actually, it's
Australia.
been broadcast on
So,
TV.
down
which
Adelaide,
is,
Melbourne, on Brisbane, Bris 31 that we've got here.
yeah.
So really going the hard yards, producing that good stuff, and getting it in, at least onto television, so people can get
Actually
the word
see
out.
what
So-
we're doing straight. And don't forget what Don Mears has done. Oh, the guy is a friggin' to me. Don. I know I've met Don personally, and we had a few bourbons together, and he's just a lovely guy, and he knows his stuff. No, seriously, he does. He's as a cinematographer and editor, brilliant. It blows whatever I do in the film side of it out of the water. I cannot even hold a candle to these two. It's just brilliant. Anyway, that's enough of that. Just want to let the guys know that we all appreciate what they do for us.
Huge thumbs up.
Huge thumbs up to the boys, Attila and Don. Woohoo, big yay. I'll put some yays in there, I think. Put in the yays now. Yay!
Need some audio confetti.
I'll just put some audio. I'll just make something up and
Make
put
some
it
explosions.
in there.
Get Stephen King to say something. He's always good for a word.
Stephen King, or do you talking about
Oh, you're talking about Stephen Hawking.
Hawkins?
Hawkins.
Yeah.
It's Stephen King.
Stephen King would be
no
good, but
difference.
if we could get him, but
You suck, Brad. Something like that. Also, Amanda Bacci. Look, man, I do apologise if I pronounced your last name incorrect, but it's just
Past his
my
bedtime.
It's way past my bedtime. American Werewolf in Paris. She writes, it was the first real horror movie I saw at a sleepover in grade 7. I went home because I was so scared. Ha ha. Looking back, watching it again, not that great. No, I loved American Werewolf in London.
Like the original, yeah.
The original
Yep.
was absolutely scared the bejeebers out of me as a kid. Because there was just like guts and
Yeah,
gore,
it was
and
gruesome.
it was gruesome, and it was pretty like I just laughed the fact that everyone he killed, he's in the picture theatre, wasn't he? He was watching a movie, and all the dead people
They're
sitting
all
next to him
sitting
going,
there,
"Oh, hello," really polite, and
Yeah.
and they say basically you got to die or we don't get to move on, and that. But then they brought out American Werewolf in Paris. Oh,
It was good.
it was.
Comedy
For
value.
comedy, it was a comedy.
great.
It was, yeah.
the funny thing I remember about American Werewolf in London, just going back to that, my media teacher tried to show it to me in like grade 10.
Yeah.
And there is a little bit of a naughty scene there where he does get a bit freaky with the nurse that does, I think it's the nurse that looks after him in London, I'm pretty sure. And he was like, not obviously was forgotten about that part of the movie, and we're all in grade 9, so we're like, hee hee hee, like movies and that kind of thing. We're like, oh, what's going on? So he tried to like pause the movie, but instead of pausing, he actually like slowed the frame rate down, so it was like a slow motion porn, and we're just all giggling out, like laughing. He's like, ah, like freaking out with the remote, and so he just ended up like basically throwing himself at the DVD player and hitting the eject button. But it was the best thing in a couple of days it happened, so it was pretty funny.
Best thing about the movie too, I suppose.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah.
All right.
Especially when you're watching it at school. Boobies.
Okay. Boobies. Still
Still like that, actually.
Kirsty Hall writes, and whether you can call it a horror, I don't know. Nerd.
Nerd.
We'll have to do some research on
You
that
do
one.
research on nerd?
I've heard of nerds.
IMDb it.
Yeah, David. Let's consider me a nerd. Like, what do you call a
Wait,
horror
are we the
nerd?
freaky? Oh man,
we
that's a bit
nerd?
harsh.
No, I don't know. Anyway, and then she writes
Nerd
in.
the movie or nerd?
And she writes, "Don't mind retarded phone. When a stranger calls, is the most ridiculous suspense horror ever made."
Oh my god, is that like the
so-
remake of the old like Wise Tale that
When a stranger calls,
apparently
it's like the babysitter.
yeah, it's like
kind
if you
of
check the
thing.
kids and
Yeah,
you're like,
have you checked your
There's
children?
Nerd the movie,
Yep.
Angry Nerd the movie,
Yep.
Angry Nintendo Nerd the movie, or Nerd Camp the movie.
I think
Oh, so it'll be the
Nerd-
first one.
Yeah,
Nerd the
first
movie. What's the premise? I mean, funny for me not to know what a movie
Are you
is.
googling or you're IMDbing it?
I'm googling it.
He's on Facebook. Okay.
He's on Facebook.
Oh, Google.
You Google.
Yeah.
You go to IMDb.
Okay, well, we
'cause
need to
it'll
find a
give you
bit more
more.
about Nerd. That sounds interesting,
well, you
actually.
got Revenge of the Nerds.
Oh, we
I'm
know
sure
about
it's
that
not
one. That was just friggin'.
That was actually, I'd only watched that on TV about a week ago, I think.
You have no life.
No, you have no soul.
I think it was at like 2 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, well, that's anything
It's
except for
either
that
that
time.
or buy a vacuum cleaner.
So back up.
The shake weight.
Shake weight. Oh,
Uh,
isn't that the most stupid?
oh my god.
It's like the hey, you know. Speaking of, oh no, we're getting off subject a bit, but Didn't the guy who did ShamWow get busted?
Yeah,
for
because he
so-
beat up a prostitute.
That's right.
Like, the only classiest way
How
for
do you
us.
know all this stuff?
Oh, it was on the news. It was hilarious.
Well,
you-
he invented the
no,
ShamWow
well,
because he needed something to mop up the mess.
And
The DNA was very hard to
I
find.
was speaking to Wazzy about this the other night doing the show. You take it to that level and just go.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
but that wasn't as low as what I took it.
No, it's a massive bomb dive. Oh God, I'm getting too old
I
for
heard the
this.
movie was a film made during school holidays. I don't know. It doesn't really say anything.
Go to
Just not on a high budget.
IMDb.
Yeah.
Go to Wikipedia.
So what we might do, we might look into a bit more, or if Kirsty Hall wants to just give us a link to it after
Yeah.
the show, and we'll mention in another show about get some more details. I don't know if it's the same one I'm thinking about. That's the problem. So I don't really. know.
We'll get clarification.
Yeah, we'll get clarification on that. But thank you very much, Kirsty. That's absolutely wonderful. And look,
I
thank
like
you.
a challenge.
I like a challenge. And guess what, gentlemen?
Sounds like homework to me, not a challenge.
You and your homework. Jesus. Don't forget, guys. So we've got the video coming up in the next week or so for the Brisbane Zombie Walk.
Yep.
I'll have that up, but I'll let you all know when it's done, when I've edited it all together. And like I said, because I did about 10 hours today at work, and then I come home and it'd take my son to his girlfriend's place and come home and he went, "Oh, Dad, you can pick me up now." So I had to go back and pick him up, and then it was late, and I need a violin.
Yeah, we're feeling
playing.
sorry for you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sure you are. So we'll get that done. Also, if you want we've got some more events we've been approached by in the last couple of days, which is fantastic. So we will be in contact with new people. If you listen to the show, yes, we'll be in contact with you shortly regarding what your requirements are for us to show up. If you want us to show up or you want us to stay away, one of the two. And what else did I have to mention before we do close up the show tonight? We've come to the end.
Have we?
Yeah.
Well, we got other films like Alien and Poltergeist and.
Well, maybe we should do a sequel. What we'll put it out there is...
No,
we'll
don't just sequels. Sequels never turn
Yeah,
into the
we've
original.
what have we discussed
Yeah.
tonight?
It's
What I-
very. There's only very
Yep.
rare that a sequel is better than the original.
Actually, what I think we should do, we should
So
actually...
it's called a movie
Part 2.
part 2.
Yeah,
There we
yeah.
go.
Harry Potter and whatever it's told us.
The last
anything.
comment for the night will be to be continued.
Yeah, to be continued. Yes, with this segment will be continued, but what we're going to do, we're going to give people a bit of notice. And what we're also going to do, they haven't told the boys about this yet, next time a really fantastic horror movie comes out,
You can go by yourself.
no, we're going to actually put it out there if people want to join us and come with us to the movies in Brisbane. But we'll give you plenty of
no,
notice.
They don't have to be in Brisbane. They can fly in if they want to.
Oh, if they want to, but
yeah,
you know, they
we're
don't
not flying out.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, I'm not buying your tickets for you. So you go buy your own ticket. But if you want to join me,
Cheap
myself,
Tuesdays.
and the Naked Zombie Lads at a movie night out at the movies sometime in the future when a good movie comes up, we'll give you plenty of warnings notice and let us know, and we will arrange it all on our end of things. And we'll love to see you all there. Join us for a horror movie night at the movies. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
We can all scream together.
Was that you tapping on the desk?
No.
Well, someone was. Who's
No, man.
Anyway, so that's good.
Oh,
So-
good.
Spooky. That's like a Paranormal Activity 4. I saw that. That's it. So yeah, anything else, guys? Wazzy Junior, anything you want to mention tonight before we go?
Not at the moment.
Okay. Well, yeah. You're
You'll think of something after the show's
yeah,
finished.
he always does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh,
Liam?
wait a minute.
Just everyone stay tuned for this investigation coming up on the weekend, which hopefully, we'll get the
Well, it's not really investigation. It's more like look-see into
An
our lives.
expose.
On what the zombie boys get up to in the dark.
story.
Basically, it's expose what the zombie boys get up to in the dark. So, what's he?
If it's in the dark, I'm not going in there with you. I'm out of there.
You're
If
coming,
it's
you
on the
got that
net, it must be true.
Oh, I love that phrase. And also, guys, thank you so much for everyone who has taken the time to write into us with all the emails and everything. And don't forget about the competition.
That's right.
That's what I
Yes.
nearly forgot to mention.
Get your crayons out.
Get your crayons out. I've got a fantastic
And paintballs.
Kamatura there. So this is a competition. Just quickly before we go leave tonight's show, is you got to send a caricature of myself. Send it in via email. Go to the contacts page. Email brad@brad-scott.com, and the first prize is a signed T-shirt of your size in between small and extra large. Send in a photo, and the one will be judged the best, and the competition goes for 2 weeks. So yeah, so don't
It's
forget the
been 4
competition.
days already.
It's
Get
been
scribbling.
Oh, it was only Tuesday announcement, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
only
Was it last
two
week?
days.
It's only been 2 days. We've already got one in,
fantastic
so that's
one up.
great.
Yeah.
One fantastic. So thank you.
So at
for
the
that.
moment, you're winning.
Yeah, you are winning at the moment. So we want to see some more pictures and that, and we will also going to try and get out a bit more in Brisbane and let people know where we're going to be, and meet up with you all and do some cool stuff together. So we'll work something out. So thank you everybody for jumping on the Facebook fan site, and don't forget to hit that like button. Tell your friends about the zombie, because we do it all for love and for the love of horror and sci-fi and zombies and
stuff.
the paranormal and all the good,
All the weird
geeky,
stuff.
creepy stuff you can imagine. I'm Brad Scott, and you have been listening to Naked Zombie Radio for everything from pop culture to the paranormal and everything between. Yes, Wadsy?
To be continued.
To be continued. Part 2 of the worst movie you've ever seen night. Okay,
The
guys, have a good
never-ending
night.
story.
Have a safe night, and we'll see you next week. See you. Bye.
Bye.